April is National Donate Life Month, and here to talk about the importance of organ donation are Kate Grief, Director of Transplant Services from Norton Thoracic Institute at St. Joseph's Hospital and Medical Center, and Nathan Fine, Manager of Organ Utilization of Donor Network Arizona. Welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for having us.
One thing that I didn't know was that one donor can actually save 8 lives. How does this work?
Yes, one organ donor can save the lives of up to 8 people. One tissue donor as well can heal and enhance the lives of 50, 75, even over 100 people sometimes. So it's just an amazing gift that someone can accomplish.
I mean, Nathan, you're right. So we know about kidney, heart, liver transplants, but tissue can also be used, and in particular to help burn victims, to help with reconstructive surgery for people who've had cancer. It's very important.
Absolutely. And that's, I think, an area of donation people aren't as aware of. Gifts such as bone, tendon, skin, vein, blood vessels in the legs can help people during surgeries. I actually became a tissue donor that saved one of my teeth a few years ago.
Wow. Okay, so talk about the list. How many people are waiting for transplants?
So as of today, there's over 105,000 people in the United States who are waiting for life-saving organ transplants. At St. Joseph's Hospital at the Norton Thoracic Institute, we transplant lung, liver, and kidney transplant recipients, as well as offer surgeries for living donors, living kidney donors, to help meet that need.
This is really evolving technically in terms of donation and how it works. The medical teams have gotten better at doing it. And I think in the past, you had to be very, very a specific age and have a certain sort of, to be a living donor, right? And now you've had living donors that are elderly.
To be a living donor, you have to be able to be a good and suitable match for your recipient. And so just like a recipient will undergo a bunch of testing to make sure that they are appropriate surgical candidates, so is the living donor to make sure that they're appropriate and not at risk for donating an organ.
What don't people know about the list that they would find surprising?
I think who is a candidate to be placed on the wait list. As transplant surgeries develop in their expertise, we're able to help more and more people and sicker people. So we often will get patients who will come to us and they were told by another physician that they are not a candidate for transplant for XYZ reason, and they are in fact. So I would encourage anyone who has end-stage organ disease to really educate themselves, and then also to look at more than one transplant center. The expertise that we have at the Norton Thoracic Institute has allowed us to transplant patients that were previously turned down at other transplant centers within the country.
So you've had patients come in and say, my physician told me I wasn't healthy enough, I had high blood pressure, I was too old.
Absolutely.
And yet at Norton, they will do the transplant.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you want to tell people who aren't donors, and of course April is the month to try and get more donors, who are squeamish about becoming a donor?
I think there are a lot of misconceptions out there. One that we hear quite often is, you know, if I've been in an accident, are the paramedics looking at the donor heart on my driver's license? And, you know, will they not try as hard to save my life? That could not be further from the truth. We need any potential deceased donor to be cared for to the best of anyone's ability, and only once death is imminent, once that patient is in an ICU, for example, on a ventilator with a heartbeat, but death is imminent, that's the only time that that donor registration really comes into play. And as the hospital is caring for you, oftentimes they don't know if you are a registered donor.
Before we let you go, I just wanted to ask you, do you think that this can have a positive impact in terms of the grief of the survivors of a relative who has died and donated their organs?
Yeah, at the Norton Thoracic Institute, since program inception, we have transplanted over 1,880 people. 1,880 people. Life-saving transplants, so that's quality of life, that's quantity of life. We have had people who have hiked the Grand Canyon, who have seen the birth of their babies, their grandchildren, who have gone back to work. And so I do think that that impact of that donor is not just on the immediate life-saving surgery that they're performing, but on the community of the recipient, on the family of the recipient, and knowing that the life and the energy of their loved one is living on in that recipient who is continuing to give back, we hope gives them some peace.
Beautifully said, Kate, Nathan. Thank you so much for what you're doing. And if you have questions about either donating or you're interested in getting on a donation list, you can get more information on our website. That's cw7az.com. Thanks again so much.
Thank you.
The preceding portion of the Arizona Daily Mix was sponsored by Dignity Health.